is up, everybody? It is your girl Nia, the video game her, and I'm doing this video live because I really didn't want to go through the effort. I'm gonna be completely honest of actually making a video and rendering it in Sony Vegas and then having to upload it on YouTube. I thought it would be best if I came on and just did this video live. Um, Unfortunately, for some of you guys, I do not plan on taking any comments or questions in my live chat because this is strictly just a video trying to get my thoughts out there and to show you guys some findings that I had based on a poll that I put on social media a couple of days ago. But before I go ahead and get started with this video, you read the title correctly. Multiplats on Nintendo Switch is portability enough? Is portability of the Nintendo Switch enough to entice the everyday gamer, the everybody gamer, to get multi-platform games on this device? And I actually had a discussion on Twitter with a young man the other day, and we were talking about what the Nintendo Switch needs in order for him personally to buy the device. So the conversation pretty much transpired when he said that he would not buy a Nintendo Switch unless the Nintendo Switch had full multi-platform support. So he wants pretty much every multi-platform game that's coming out in 2017 and beyond to be on this device, and that was his deal breaker. And so, I expressed to him that, if you are looking for the Nintendo Switch to have every multi-platform game, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Like, it's not going to happen like that. That's just not realistic. If we're looking at this from a historical standpoint, we all know that in the past Nintendo has had a very strained relationship with third-party developers, and that atmosphere is not going to change overnight. Nintendo has got a lot to prove in order to get every developer on their side and to even get every gamer on their side. And me and some of my friends even kind of joke about this. Nintendo is even in a situation where to where they even have to get their own fans back because they burned their fans with the Wii and they burned their fans with the Wii U. So they've got to prove a lot to everybody, and those changes will not be made overnight. And so his whole thing was that if the Nintendo Switch doesn't have all third-party support, he's not going to buy it, even though he does have a PC and a PS4. And even me, as a diehard Nintendo fan, I've always kind of been of the mind that even though I am a hardcore Nintendo fan, I refuse to buy multi-platform games on the Nintendo systems because there's usually always something wrong with them, for one. And then for two, I have a PC that runs these games, better than my consoles will. And it has my preferred control method, which is now keyboard and mouse, now that I finally know how to play keyboard and mouse. So that's where I'm going to be playing my games. And unless, there's a situation where my friends are buying the multi-platform versions on Nintendo, then maybe I will do that. But for the most part, I'll probably be playing them on my PC. And this doesn't mean that I don't agree that the system needs multiplats. I think that the Nintendo Switch needs as many multiplats as it can get because there are people out there that can't afford a PC or PS4 or an Xbox, and they only have that one device and they're relegated to that one device. So of course, in this situation, they need to have as many games as available so that people have something to play. I mean, I love Nintendo first party games as much as the next person, but facts are facts that you can't survive on third party alone, and the Wii U was a full testament to that. You can't have a situation where you're only getting a game every like 5 to 6 months, and some of those games might not even really appeal to you. I can think of one of my homeboys, shout outs to JC Grooves, he's also on YouTube. He wasn't too interested in some of the games that came out on Nintendo. So when a first party game did come around, he might not even be really enticed to buy it. So basically, it might be a situation where he wouldn't have anything to play for like a year, you know what I mean? Because these games came out so infrequently with Nintendo. But anyway, I'm going to move on and stay on topic. So I explained to him that with the Nintendo Switch, this is pretty much how it's going to play out. The Nintendo Switch is going to be an amalgamation. I love that word. Alex used that word in the podcast yesterday. Shout out to vocabulary of both of Nintendo's divisions. So that means that you're going to be seeing the games that you would normally see on a Nintendo console, and you're going to be seeing the games that you would normally see on a 3DS or Nintendo's handheld consoles. And that's pretty much what we're going to be seeing on the Switch, you guys. You know, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of Western support, but I do assume that when it comes down to the Nintendo Switch, we're going to be seeing a lot of Japanese games. We're going to be seeing our Monster Hunters. We're going to be seeing our Etrian Odyssey games. We're going to be seeing Shin Megami Tensei. We're going to be seeing, you know, the spin-offs of like the Final Fantasy games like we've been getting. We're going to see our Dragon Quest and things like that. But we might be a little hard pressed when it comes down to the Mass Effects, to the Witchers. I don't know if CD Projekt Red is on board or not. But basically, any type of Western support like GTA, those things like that. You know, I think we will see Call of Duty. We will see the Maddens. We will see the NBA 2Ks and the sports games and things like that. But it's going to be a slow trickle, is what I'm basically trying to say. And I even told him, you know, because of that, that's just the type of, those are the type of experience you're gonna, I can't talk, those are the type of experiences we're going to be getting on the Nintendo Switch. More Japanese stuff, more obscure things, and more just kind of rinky-dink round the mill that's on everything, like the Call of Duties, the Maddens, or whatever, you know, because even games like that are on mobile. And I, you know, I just told him straight up, like, until the Nintendo ecosystem changes, and that the bulk of the people who buy Nintendo products aren't core Nintendo fans, that's just the way that it's gonna be. You know, nobody is going to play multiplats because Nintendo, since the Nintendo 64, has cultivated such a niche audience that only cares about their IPs, because Nintendo basically told them that they should only care about their IPs ever since third parties walked out on them from the Nintendo 64. And even the Nintendo fan base itself, the core fans, kind of hold some of those I don't even want to say their values, because that's a jacked up way of thinking, but even Nintendo fans themselves have kind of internalized that thought process. So for a lot of hardcore Nintendo fans, if it's not a Nintendo first party IP, you know, it's not on your radar really. And so if Nintendo could manage to cultivate an audience that actually cares about Nintendo games as well as other people's games, then maybe that might change. But I personally don't really see that happening. I personally see the Nintendo Switch catering to the people who like the 3DS and maybe like the Wii U, or maybe people who like the 3DS but really didn't care about the Wii U. That's just the way that I kind of see that. And so basically, that conversation that me and this one individual had turned into me creating a poll that was posted on my Twitter as well as my Facebook to prove my theory. And let's just keep it real, I am very, very surprised by the poll. I got the opposite results of my poll. And basically the premise of my poll was, how many people out there are willing to buy multi-platform games on the Switch because of the portability of it all? So that means that you care about the portability of these games versus playing them with better graphics and maybe even better performance on your PlayStation, your Xbox, or your PC. So I'm going to transition over now to the poll results. And I'm going to start with what I found on Twitter. So let me go ahead and transition to my Twitter poll. So it says here, if you're getting a Nintendo Switch, is portability enticing enough to make you buy third-party multiplats on the system? And so 54% of the people on my Twitter feed did say, yes, I love the option of having these portable multi-platform games on the go. That is enough for me to want to invest in these types of experiences. I had 30% of the people on my feed say no, that they will be sticking to getting their multi-platform games on PC, PlayStation, and the Xbox One. And then I had 16% of the people saying that they were undecided. And I had a couple of comments. Not too many people actually commented on this one because the actual poll itself was on Twitter, but the results vary on my Facebook, which I will be switching to in a little bit. So someone person here, Blandrew YT on Twitter said, definitely any JRPG that is PS4 Switch, I'll be buying on the Switch. So people are, I guess, assuming that any game that you would normally play on your 3DS, of course, obviously, that's a game that you would also want to play on your Switch. So now we're going to go to my Facebook. Same question. If you're getting a Nintendo Switch, is portability enticing enough to make you buy third-party multiplats on the system? And so my homeboy Alex said nope. Like I said nope. I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan. I've been burned in the past by buying multi-platform games to show support, and it never turned the tides on my favor. So I'll continue to play multiplats on my PC unless I feel compelled to do otherwise. That's my personal stance where I am right now. Okay, and so we have some people saying that if I don't already have them already, I will. If they don't play or look dramatically worse, then yes, I will. Some people saying that if it is a viable port, yes, I guess that's the same thing as what I just said, that they will. And some people are also saying it just depends on what my friends are buying, then yes, I will. It depends on the games themselves. So I guess games like, I guess platformers or games like RPGs that you would feel, that just feel right on Nintendo consoles, people say that yes, they will. So when I counted all of the people on my Facebook, I had 34 people total comment on this Facebook post with a yes or a no answer. So on my Facebook, 70% of the people said yes, they would buy multi-platform games on the Nintendo Switch for the portability alone. I had 20% of the people say no, they would not buy multi-platform games on the Nintendo Switch and they will get them elsewhere, whether that be their PC, their PlayStation, or their Xbox. And then I had 10% of the people on Facebook say maybe. It just depends on whether or not the ports are good or if their friends got them, or it depends on the type of game experiences that are on the Switch. So basically, I've been BTFO. I thought I was going to get a whole lot of no's, and hell no's. Because I guess I assumed that people wouldn't want to buy multi-platform games on the Switch. But I will say this, though. Based on what I have gathered and based on the type of people who follow me, you guys know that my channel is a very pro-Nintendo channel. I talk a lot about Nintendo, positive or negative. So a lot of the people who follow me on social media also have favorable opinions about Nintendo, and that is my room for error. That a lot of the people who follow me are either hardcore Nintendo fans like myself, or even if Nintendo was not their primary console of choice, they do have a favorable opinion of Nintendo. They like the differences that Nintendo brings to the console market. So I just thought that was some very interesting findings. You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. Will you personally buy multiplats on the Nintendo Switch if the Nintendo Switch gets these types of games? Or is the whole portability factor not really enough to make you want to get multi-platform games on your Nintendo Switch? I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic if the Nintendo Switch does cater to the crowd. I think it's going to cater to, which I personally think is 3DS dudes and maybe even PlayStation Vita dudes. I think console gamers are going to like it as well, but only the console gamers who like certain types of experiences. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Nintendo talks about on tomorrow. Oh my God, tomorrow. And just kind of see what the reactions are going to be if Nintendo actually does bring that fire and let us know what kind of games are going to be on it. So, those are my opinions, those are my thoughts, and those are the thoughts of the people who did follow my poll. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be taking any comments or questions because I don't want this to be very long. So let me know how you feel about this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.